contender to making large upsets happen in tournaments, and we're gonna see if he's able to add one more to the book as we are moving into first game here of the set.
Oh man, this is I like both of these characters too, so I think we're gonna be into some flashy stuff here.
Oh yeah, definitely. We got a Scythe on the board, we got a cannon on the board. We're gonna see some potentially large strings coming out.
Mm-hmm. And this is a real cannon, not a. Wichibu was showing a little bit of what the fake cannon looks like. Oh my god, they're so stacked.
Yeah, playing on top of each other quite a bit right now. What was the terminology for that again?
Oh yeah, in Smash it's called scrapping, but I've heard
right.
Stacked a lot in this game. Oh, good edge guard
Good amount of
opportunity.
scrapping right now. That Seer was so unnecessary. I actually wonder, was that Seer unnecessary? Because if it was, he just saved his stock. I saw sweat beats coming out. I saw the unarmed there. Wasn't looking like Ryze was gonna be able to get back up, but Pier is gonna be able to find the knockout scot-free. There's nothing more satisfying if you accidentally save your opponent and then you're able to knock them out without you being hit once. Because then you might as well pretend like you didn't mess up knocking him out the first time. Like you didn't get hit, so it didn't really matter anyway, right?
Yeah, just bonus swag damage. It's very important sometimes.
I mean, you're playing Scythe. Swag is the name of the game.
Yeah, this is the social currency. The Scythe player who is swagging the most is actually the best, and that's why Pavelski is the GOAT.
I was thinking that. I was not going to say it, but I was thinking it, and then you just said it. All right, my man. That's my homie.
Yeah, but Pier with a very solid lead right now, and kind of avoiding all the Ryze options. Predicting a weapon pickup there, which I like to go for. But
barely any options for Ryze there too. You saw an aerial dodge come out. If that neutral signature were to connect, it would have been devastating for them, but Ryze using his movement very precisely, out of range for that one.
Oh, Pier still extending with the sweat beads. I respect it. And Ryze on the gauntlets, another stringy weapon. But, I mean, Pierre's been doing a good job shutting it down. Look at the range differential on both Sword and Scythe. Gauntlets has to work so hard.
Alright. 2 stocks to 1 right now, as Pier has been sitting on what feels like a comfortable lead since the game started. I'm not sure if he started with an extra stock, because it's been unshakable.
Yeah, for real. And you know it's bad when the Pier is staying on the site too. That means he's trying to farm more clips.
Alright. Doing a really good job at just sustaining at this point. I mean, not going for anything massive, just trying to trade the hits. You're already up by so much, so you'll win eventually. D-Signature comes out, he goes out for the recovery. Not overcommitting either, he still has enough options to get back up. He connects the dare, but Ryze is able to get back up.
Okay, Ryze trying to get a reversal going, but Pier still managing to extend, getting the D-Light, the GC D-Light near the top of the blast zone. Pier closing it out quite easily there with a solid damage differential. And yeah, that's game 1.
That's what I really love about Pier, man, and not only Pier, but modern Scythe gameplay in general, blurring the line between swag and optimal.
Oh yeah.
Because at the last stock, there was so much swag. We saw him go for like a momentum weapon throw to see if he can bounce it into a Scythe Seer. I mean, I was pretty afraid of it. Ryze is also quite afraid of it, as you can see him hiding behind the stat board. But he is going to be coming back into frame. As we are going into our next game, we have a complete swap of legends here. It's going to be Ryze on the Olgrim.
Okay, I can respect it, but definitely a different pace of match. You know, Ryze going from the 2 stringy weapons to, you know, lance and axe, which I mean can get stringy, but
yeah,
more
can get stringy.
But more often than not. Yeah, more often than not.
So far, he is playing quite aggressively. Down signature is going to be thrown in the wrong direction, though the sidelight to follow it up is going to be in the right direction. That down signature too now evened out damage. He just barely able to get back up. The weapon throw did not have enough momentum to connect onto Pier, and by the time it fell down on him, he was already out of there.
Yeah, Pier though still looking very solid on the side. One hit could do it for either. Oh, okay. A lot of aggression coming out.
Oh,
from Pier.
The weapon throw downwards without momentum. Perhaps might have been able to knock Pier out. Doesn't matter. Lancer is going to be enough to seal the deal. He's sticking to the lance now. This is a man with a clear favor, favored weapon.
Yeah, no, the lance is doing so much work right now, and Pierre's got to figure out an answer for it. Lancer, so good at with punishing, and Pier has shown that he's gonna throw those Scythe normals out sometimes. So, okay.
All right, able to connect that there off of the landing. Keeps the edge guard going. See, that's the thing about Lance, man. I feel like Lance Nair. I'm not a seasoned Scythe player, but whenever I'm on Scythe, how are you supposed to dare whenever your opponent has Lance Nair? That attack is just crazy. The fidget spinner move, man.
I feel like this is a good pick from Ryze because Pier was staying at like the diagonal range that Scythe loves, and then now Ryze can just recovery it. He can Lance Nair. It's looking hard. And maybe Pier knows that too, favoring some sword right now.
Yeah, for sure. Swapping over to it clearly with a weapon spawn on the field. The two are opting to go for the swap. Ryze, though, I'm expecting him to prime another lance. There it is. Oh, but he loses that one. Luckily, he primed. He's going to be picking one up quite soon. There it is. And he's sticking to the unarmed. That's so smart. 900 IQ play from Ryze. Do you know why? He's trying to get knocked out with unarmed. He doesn't want to get knocked out with the lance. He had the opportunity to pick up the weapon, but he doesn't want to get knocked out with the lance. If that isn't the reason, I'm gonna look like a clown. But I think that's the reason.
Dude, he's genius, and it's paying off already at orange %. Strictly off these lance strings. We haven't seen much axe gameplay in this game. Oh.
Right, and there you go, side lance here. Never mind the knot. Here we go.
My god.
It's not going to be the knockout just yet.
Ah!
Charging up the DC. Pier just barely able to get past it. And the charged up recovery. Got the timing wrong just barely. And Ryze is going to be stealing that game right under Pier's nose.
Yeah, the lance switch looking great. 487 damage coming out from Ryze's lance. Oh man, that is wild. And the Giga Brain play you pointed out by keeping Lance primed, that ended up like potentially winning them the game because they immediately came back, got Pier to yellow %, and what
is that?
Oh,
yeah, that is just a shame. I mean, it's happened to everyone at least once. If that hasn't happened to you once, you're not human.
I've also seen way more emotes at the end of games. I don't know what it is. There's some blood in the water. People are loving emotes. Oh,
Ryze. That is so much more menacing when it's an all grip. Okay, this is not okay.
Yeah, so Ryze just slowly advancing onto the screen just as he's advanced in the set.
And he just stood there,
menacingly. Ryze again with the lance. Let's see what Pier does to adapt to these anti-airs, though. Maybe we play a little more horizontal.
This is the thing, is the type of game plan that's really hard to combat. And I feel like Pier has been doing a lot of the right things. The execution has just been slightly off in a lot of these cases. The sword, as we mentioned, being heavily favored by Pier here instead of the Scythe. And just like that, he picks up the sword. Ryze was in the lead. He picks up the sword, and he's the one grabbing the lead now.
Okay, Pier going for a recovery near the top left zone. Oh, what a sig! Ryze just barely avoids it.
Yeah, the 3 or 2 part signature, he's somehow able to time that with a spot dodge.
Right.
Casually.
Ryze, patient here, avoiding both of the D-lights coming out from Pier.
Getting back onto the stage just in time as he sees a small spacing issue from Pier to sare him.
I'd like to see more of this from Pier. Yeah, exactly. Just switching to the sword at those knockout %. we've seen a lot of Scythe play at the higher percents, and I mean, it hasn't really been working out for him as much. Uh-oh.
Oh, the charged up lands recovery. Not going to work this time around. Pier able to slip past it, but the recovery, wow. The recovery, 45-degree angle, and you're using it away from the stage. You gotta have some confidence. That's a large call out.
Oh, yeah. Ryze's recoveries have been so good. Outspacing the ground pound there. Sayer. Oh, toss.
All right, Pier doing a great job with his weapon throws now. I mean, it looks like he found one way to break this neutral bubble. We said he's gonna have to try and find some form of way to adapt here. Looks like daring and throwing his weapon has been very successful. As soon as he starts looking for those D-lights and they're not in the purpose of getting a punish, but he's doing them to approach, he gets punished quite hard by the lands.
Oh yeah. Oh my God! Ryze chasing Pier all the way to the top of the screen, finding that recovery. And we're gonna see some light axe gameplay.
All right, Nair comes out, strings into the recovery, and he gets the true combo set up too. Ryze, I mean, he's just chipping away at this HP right now, and Pier is gonna need to try and find this knockout very, very soon. He goes down into orange. Ryze is looking to bring him down into red potentially. He needs to get back up to the stage though. Neutral signature recovery. Pier beautifully outspacing it.
And Ryze just putting on the pressure, throwing out those GC sigs, just in case Pier tries to come out early. And this has all been off the back of Axe. Gets a weak hit. Oh my God. Barely outspacing the recovery as well. Oh, tried to go for the haymaker.
All right, Pier down to red now as Ryze is looking to close it out as soon as possible. He goes for the recovery. The recoveries have been very successful for him all the set. Only needs one or two more. One very well placed one, and it could be a game.
Just the end light. Will that be enough? Oh.
Quite active input there to throw Ryze off stage, but he's not damaged enough for it to convert into a nice off stage encounter. We're seeing so many whiffs right now, but so not as many punishes. Pier with a combo though. The string comes out, the recovery is up, and the dodge is up, but Pier isn't able to grab that Nair.
The recovery. Wait, this could be huge. Prevents the weapon, but Ryze dodges in. Gets the end light. Oh, the axe. Almost giving Pier a haircut there. Okay, now Ryze is back on the lids.
Trying to find something here. Trying to go for these all-round recoveries. Swapping off. Oh, but the D6 caught him by surprise. And Pier is going to be taking the second game. Okay. Wow. I mean, I mentioned earlier, Pier, I feel like I said many times, Pier needs to find this knockout right now. You see 713 damage dealt. I mentioned this every time someone deals a bunch of damage. You see 713 damage, you might be inclined to say, wow, that's really good. Dealing 713 damage is far from suboptimal. I mean, Pier's been having some major issues with finding knockouts.
Right, I agree. I mean, we talked a lot about the Pier Scythe usage, especially at the higher percents. I think perhaps if he favored more sword, we could see earlier knockouts, because that's a huge percent gap to give up. When Ryze is knocking out way earlier than Pier, look at those stocks. Look at how long Ryze is living versus Pier. Yeah, no, it's actually very
128 light attacks coming out from Pier. That is not
Scythe user spotted.
That is not to be scoffed at. We are going to be advancing into the next game though, and Ryze, I mean, it looks like the Ulgrim pick, he was able to surprise him with that one, but his luck might be running low. Pier might have figured him out.
All right, and now Pier with a slight lead here, and I mean the Scythe gameplay is actually cooking right now too. Uh-oh.
Right. Oh, the dare comes out on the recovery. He's able to grab it this time. Recovery is up, dodges up, gets the nair. No options. You have to go. You gotta go to the side of the stage. No,
No.
options. He denies it again.
Oh
Make
my
it a
God.
5th or 6th time for that offstage interaction, and that is, how is that not a clean stock? What did he get hit by? Is that a weapon throw, unarmed, sidelight? How do you deal that small amount of damage?
I have no idea. My brain is broken because of the Scythe edge guard we just saw so long, and also Pier already with the set lead. This is dangerous. We talked about how Pier needed to switch to sword at the knockout percents, or parentheses, or they could just string it up. They could just string it up and get a very early knockout, which is what we
could
saw.
Also, I mean, who needs sword when you are the second coming of Pavlovsky? I mean, just deny the wall touch 8 times in a row. It's simple, really.
Yeah. Just continuously outplay. Again and again and again. Oh. And, I mean, okay, Ryze, I was going to say Ryze has not found his Lance usage. Oh my god, huge Sig coming out. Pier off the wall again, almost getting it.
This is just pure momentum at this point. I mean, Pier is this is domination so far, as he's just continuously disrespecting Ryze's neutral.
Yeah, it's so hard. Ryze was really cooking on the Lance there, but now can't really seem to find a trying to stall it out. Yeah,
no,
oh
I need
God.
a weapon, man. I need a weapon. Pier says I can do this all day. I can do this all day, dude.
I'll starve you if you're trying to play this. Okay, Ryze going for the weapon there.
We don't have another weapon starve coming up from Pier though. He allows Ryze to get the axe. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Love that coming out from Ryze. Lance immediately swapped out though. Ryze going for an axe edge guard. This could be huge. Uh-oh. No resources.
Make that a second one. Dodge comes out. Not getting greedy. Just allowing him to fall down, knowing that he has no more options, and Ryze has done the impossible. He's making this look even. He gets that true combo set up. He finds another end line. Now it really is even.
Oh my god, this would be a wild comeback for Ryze. It's Ryze's favor here. He has the percent lead.
Sidelining into ground pound. Pier down into orange now.
They both throw. Okay. Can Pier get this? I mean, Ryze playing so patient. Uh-oh.
And Pier is just also not finding the Scythe extensions that he was in the other stocks. I mean, maybe go plan B, see what you can pull off with the sword, because this Scythe, Ryze has adjusted to it, but he's unarmed, doesn't have the lance right now. Goes in. Oh, what is that set of interactions? Ryze is going to be coming out on top.
Yeah, the stacked interaction's going great for Ryze, and now Pier is kind of at knockout percent. Oh my god! But so is Ryze as Pier takes it. Oh. Almost a wild comeback from Ryze, but instead the overdog, the opposite of the underdog, will be moving on as Pier defeats him 3-1.
The dreaded 3-1 Pier's adaptation was